Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switched codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. When the cop cars try to catch me, cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a peace, man. I ain't got no time for a peace, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, they you might want to get out of Dodge by the evening. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beat. If they don't leave anything behind at the evening.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a... When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they wanna call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. When the cop cars try to catch me, cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes, I'm the kingpin.
We got some novelty acts in boxing going on right now, and I'm talking about that Krishan Rock girl. You know, she's gonna make her pro debut here soon, and it's going to be April 25th. She's going to be fighting some chick named Zion Zenith, something like that. They always got these weird names nowadays. And you know, she's one of those. I don't watch the reality stuff, but you can't help but see it. You know, what I'm saying, come across your timeline on social media somewhere. You know, she's part of the Bad Girls Club type shit where everybody's fighting every day over some nonsense, right? So I guess she decided to try her hand at boxing. I think she's Blueface X. I think they got a kid together or something like that. And so she decided to try her hand at professional boxing, right? And so, you know, I always seen her throw down, you know what I'm saying, in different, you know, every time I see her, she's in a fight. So I guess, you know, since she decided to go pro, as she done beat so many dang chicks' asses out there, she training with Tank Davis trainer Calvin Ford. And I got a few, what's going on, Brandon? What's happening, bro? I got a few clips of what she looked like, you know what I'm saying? because she had to live the fighter's lifestyle by changing your diet and really transforming into the lifestyle of a boxer, right? So she thought it's going to be sweet. She thought it was going to be sweet, but you can't play boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like it takes a lot of discipline. And these people that be on these reality shows, they come from the most undisciplined lifestyle that you ever seen in your motherfucking life, right? So for her, what I'm saying, to make this transition, it's easy to fight a couple of chicks that's getting ready for the club, but what I'm saying, to make that transition is going to be hard. And so she's been training hard, and this is just one of the things she had to discover becoming a boxer, right? Becoming what I'm saying, one of the things you got to deal with is how to control your appetite. And this is one of the clips that she where she kind of broke down a little bit about what I'm saying, the eating and dieting, what I'm saying, that you have to do as a boxer. And this was her reaction.
I'm hungry, but it's like not really. I'm not that hungry, but I do want some food, like some French fries, some spaghetti, something. And I have to stay thankful. So I'm thankful these are tears are dry.
So you see, what I'm saying? So, she's actually training, what I'm saying, to get her first pro debut fight on April 21st. Calvin Ford is training her. And this is just a few clips of what she looked like in training. What I'm saying? She don't look like nothing special.
You keep turning your head.
So you can see she got a long, long way to go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's boxing, it's a grind, man. And you got to, you already know, man, it's gonna take time for her to make such a transition, what I'm saying, in the sport. But I think she's probably gonna go out there, the other chick, she's a professional. This Zenith or whatever, so she's already a pro, but she's in like MMA or something like that. So don't be surprised if she go out there and get Falumaloom her first fight. You know what I'm saying? Krishan Rock, she's a tough girl, man. You know what I'm saying? I salute her, man, for what she's trying to do. But it's gonna be a tough transition for her, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a tough transition. And she don't, right now, what I'm saying, she got Calvin Ford in her corner. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she could pick up some tips from Tank. She looked like Tank's sister, if you to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm wishing her luck. I'm gonna check it out though. You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious. I'm just curious to see, what I'm saying, what she got. You know what I'm saying? Because she's always in a fight. She's always masculine as hell. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the hell Blueface, what I'm saying, was able to deal with that and get a kid out of. I mean, it's crazy, man. The world is changing, and we're getting all types of females out here. You know what I'm saying, that's got all kind of masculine tendencies, and this chick is just one of them. You know what I'm saying? She's cute, don't get me wrong, but she just carry herself as a dude. You know what I'm saying? He says, yeah, but he said, yeah, it's hard, bro. It ain't easy. It definitely ain't easy, bro. What's going on, what's going on, PGH Big Dog in the building, bro? What's going, Real Josh? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? What's popping? But I was looking at the news today, and man, y'all check this out. This nigga, Lawrence Okuli, what I'm saying, he gets popped for banning something. Now I know that's not a big surprise because these British boxers, man, they get away with it, man. This is the dude that dropped Jared Anderson, bro. This is the dude that destroyed Jared Anderson. Now to find out that he's taking substances, taking banned substances, you know what I'm saying, and they canceled the fight with Tony Yorkie. You know what I'm saying? And Tony York was like, hell to the no. You know what I'm saying? So he got the hell out of Paris. You know what I'm saying? The fight was canceled. And I'm trying to figure out why can't they catch these dudes before they ruin somebody's resume or their career, right? They never catch these guys, only against the Americans, you know what I'm saying? It's like, they seem to slip through the cracks with the Americans, you know what I'm saying? So, Jared Anderson could have still have a clean record, you know what I'm saying, if it wasn't for this dude here, man. And this dude here, I mean, he failed. You know what I'm saying? Failed. Now he's up here looking crazy like he didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? And now he's got to prove to the doping testing people and the sanctioning bodies that he don't prove how the stuff got into a system that he's not responsible for it. But goddamn, if you got something that's not supposed to be in your body, you know what I'm saying, like a banned substance, bro, it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? You know what you put in your body. You know what I'm saying? You know if you eat cornbread, you know if you eat fruit, you know what you put in your body. So how did andronol get into my system? Oh, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just ate some cherries and the damn andronol was in the cherries. You know what I'm saying? Now I know our body produce some of these things, but not to the degree where it's gonna, you know what I'm saying, help you destroy a fighter, right? To help your stamina, to help, you know what I'm saying, help improve your workout regimen, you know what I'm saying, to help you in a fight, right? These guys are taking things, they're taking things that's not supposed to be in the sport, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they don't give a damn about the moral or the ethics of it, right? They just want to win, and they tend to let certain fighters get away with it. And I'm so tired of looking at it, bro. Every time we turn around, somebody's getting busted, you know what I'm saying, for banned substances. And a coolie, I'm just like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you see a fat dude and he throwing too many punches, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you know what I'm saying? What was Jared Miller and Jared Miller and stuff, you know what I'm saying? He was throwing 1,000 punches as a fat nigga. It's like, bro, you too fat to be throwing 400 punches around. So something going on. And then you come back, you know what I'm saying? You throwing 400 punches throughout the goddamn fight. It's like, no, bro, I have never known one fat nigga my whole life was able to throw more than 10 punches. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a damn if he was professionally trained or not. You know what I'm saying? And he was throwing like 400, 500 punches, you know what I'm saying? Weighing niggas down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro. We gotta start inferring some of these things, even if we can't catch them. You know what I'm saying? We gotta look at niggas and be like, no. Pacquiao was able to throw 2,000 punches around when he was down there fighting Barrera and Eric Morales. That nigga was throwing. Well, let me tell you something. Pacquiao was throwing, bruh. I'm talking about damn near 2,000 punches around. That nigga come back and throw 2,000 more. Boy, that boy was like a buzzsaw. And you can't tell me. I love Pacquiao. Don't get me wrong. I love Pacquiao. I love Pacquiao. But man, and then he be bouncing around and shit, and he be the woo, 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 woo. Come on, bro. I mean, like he was unstoppable, bro. That's how he became eight weight classes. Of course, the fake weight class 155. You know what I'm saying? That don't count. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We gotta look at it, man. We gotta just say it for what it is. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? He's messing up a lot of people's careers, bro. You know what I'm saying? In the history of boxing, I mean, name one Japanese champion. I know there's one or two, way back, way back. There's one or two Japanese champions, but shit, really, it's really not a thing, man, for Japanese to be, what I'm saying, really good in boxing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they can't even fuck with Godzilla, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that nigga real. You know what I'm saying? When he come to Japan, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, we gotta look at these anomalies. We gotta look at these fighters that's doing this doping, and we got to condemn the shit, man. We got to call it out. You know what I'm saying? We let shit go. You know what I'm saying? Look, Ryan Garcia beat the shit out of Devin. That's what banned substances can do for you, bro. That's what it could do for you. And that's why they have so much confidence. Remember when Oscar De La Hoya fought Fernando Vargas, and he was just so confident, even though he lost that fight. It's the way he came out, bro. It's the way he came out after Oscar because Oscar is he's a skilled dude, right? So he just happened to be more skilled than Fernando Vargas in that fight. You know what I'm saying? But Fernando Vargas, you know what I'm saying, he had so much power, bro. You know what I'm saying? Coming out on them damn substance, them banned substances. And I'm talking about, hey, Roy Jones Jr. got popped for it. Tarver got popped for it. So, you know what I'm saying? Even James Tony got popped for it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got to call this shit out, bro, before somebody gets absolutely messed up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just tired of looking at it and seeing these young fighters who's trying to come up and trying to do it the right way. They run into a steroid monster and they get phenomenal. I get tired of seeing that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, boxing has always been kind of like a dirty type, you know, sport. You know, people are always going to try to do dirt. But I think Vada and USADA, I think they need to have like a 24-hour type of, I mean, even in the off season, man, these dudes be cheating, microdosing, but they're putting that bullshit in their body and they don't even know how that shit's gonna affect them later. And they don't even care. They just want the glory right now. You know what I'm saying? Because can you really give somebody credit, you know what I'm saying, if their body's been enhanced? Can you really give anybody some credit if they've been enhanced like that? Right? Because now you got extra help, bro. You're not just doing it on your own, right? So you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, man. When I see O'Cooley and I see Connor Benz of the world, you know what I'm saying? Already in your mind, if they pop with something, you know they're willing to cheat. You know what I'm saying? To get the W. That's all I'm saying. You know, they cheaters, right? They cheaters. They're willing to cheat to get the W. And we got to look out for that, man. You know, so we can't back that shit up. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is in snack. Um, I don't know. I mean, I do think there's something wrong with it. I do think something wrong with it. I ain't finna lie to you. Um, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to drudge up the whole, you know, Crawford thing, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, how he took time off and how he tested it on he took that fight to test out his power. And you know what I'm saying? It's a lot behind it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just need to cut the cheating out. And even Shakur Stevenson said that Crawford would cheat. You know what I'm saying? Just to win. So you know, it's all about the competitiveness. It's all about what you're willing to do to be competitive. But they don't give a damn about the fairness of it all. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I couldn't if I was a champion, man. I couldn't sit right knowing that I've cheated, you know, my opponent. You know, I'd rather go out there and lose, bro. You know what I'm saying? He says the masculine females is definitely a pain. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, PGH big dog. Hey, man, I'm talking about I don't know, she's a young girl too. You know, but most of the, you know, I was talking to King Judah the other day. And he was just telling me because you know he's in that pool of dating. And man, when you date these little young chicks, man, they come off like they gay, man. It's like no dude wants to date, no man wants to date a masculine female, bro. You know, somebody who's calling you bro and you know just acting like a dude and got tattoos all over your ass and everything. It's like you know I'm an older guy though. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my 50s and everything. And you don't I didn't see that kind of shit. You know, I mean, I wasn't even part of the tattoo, you know, shit. You know, so maybe a little bit, but you know, because football players had tattoos. But man, when I grew up, man, females didn't have tattoos on their chest. You know what I'm saying? On their necks and shit like that. Man, that shit was weird. You know, only bikers and shit had tattoos. You know, cause I was raised up. You know, I was raised up through the 70s, up to the 80s, 90s, right? And so I never saw that shit. Only bikers and shit wore that kind of stuff. And then black people made it cool, you know what I'm saying, stop making tattoos and putting tattoos all over. But only bikers had tattoos all over your head. And you know what I'm saying, maybe prison culture had something to kind of do with it. But how did the females started, you know what I'm saying, putting all these tattoos in the head and you know what I'm saying, tattoos everywhere. Anything that men do, women try to do it, and women follow right behind, right? And so with this culture we got today, man, it's like they mirror each other. You got the young fellas, what I'm saying, acting like, talking like the females, what I'm saying, in these weird cadences. And to me, it's just weird, man, to see guys, what I'm saying, just crash out and what I'm saying, seeing these boxers, with some of the same mannerisms. I think I start seeing it with Adrian Bronner, because I think he's kind of like, a little younger guy. And to me, I was just like, man, this dude it's just something off about Adrian Bronner. Even though, I like the way he moves as a fighter because he wasn't afraid to fight anybody. That's one thing I could say about AB. AB wasn't no punk. What I'm saying? He wasn't no chump. And, he was willing to get in there, get in the ring. He just had some personal demons. Uh, he had personal demons that really ate him up from the inside. If you drink, what I'm saying? Whether if you're on drugs, I'm not saying AB is on drugs, but he did drink. And I think there was like a recent video of him like really going kind of, going, just going off the deep end, what I'm saying, and showing, how he is when he's in that kind of state. And his friends was like really being there for it. They did not let him get into the to that car. And what I'm saying, they calmed him down, they let him, throw his little tantrum. And what I'm saying, he had some real friends, he had some real G's right there to be there for him, even though he was acting like he wanted to, kill somebody or like or delete somebody or he wanted to fight somebody. It's like, no, nigga, you're gonna wake up tomorrow in jail and your name is gonna be plastered all over the news cycle. What I'm saying? AB done screwed up again. And then you're gonna have to pay your way out of that. So I'm just glad he had some real G's around him, what I'm saying? And nobody that, none of those hanger-ons that just around him because he's a famous dude, right? And they were really there for him, man. And I was like, wow, man, AB, it's like good for you, man. I'm glad they didn't let you get into that car and go kill nobody. What I'm saying? Because we got too much of that going on. He says, yeah, man, them them UK fighters, bro. Them UK fighters be dirty as hell, bro. Um, I'm just saying, man, it's like Tyson Fury is like that nigga is like the dirtiest fighter, man, I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? You know, Conor Ben, what I'm saying, just the dirtiest fighters that I've ever seen. It's like, bro, I mean, they'll come and knock out a damn American in a minute. You know what I'm saying? They'll knock American ass out in a minute. Um, but they want to see American humble because what I'm saying, they always think that American boxers and American people are so arrogant, so they want to, so especially Britain, what I'm saying, we beat their ass in the Revolutionary War. What I'm saying, it's been on and popping ever since. So they really want us to be humble. What I'm saying, so they love to humble us any chance that they get. And now that they got a few fighters, what I'm saying, they're trying to run the market, what I'm saying, and stay on top, you know. But Charles, it's always a loophole, bro. It is always a loophole in that. But what I want to talk about is, the quote, man. The quote has been. I'm just like, I mean, I can't ignore it because every time you turn around, her personal life is superseded. What I'm saying, her ring life. And it's like, I don't understand, bro. It's like, come on. It's like she need to get into another fight immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because right now they are eating her up online, and see, that wouldn't usually be a problem. That usually wouldn't be a problem, right? But the problem is that she's responding to it. And she's such a sensitive gal, right? And what I'm saying, she responds to everything. I think she watches everything on social media. Maybe it fuels, what I'm saying, her drive. I don't know. But here's a let me see. Do I have it? Let me see. Here's a clip. Yeah, I did this morning, and about the quote and some of the things that they're saying about her, bro. It's just kind of crazy.
What's going on? It's your brother Pool. Law don't go around here, law dog. You savvy? So the quote has been really getting attacked by, you know, the boxing fans, people who are not boxing fans, people who just do not like her because of the way she's been moving in her personal life, right? So, as boxing fans, we don't really care, but it's getting out of hand, and I think Carissa makes it worse by responding to people and just not, putting her head down and grinding in her purpose, right? Which is being the GOAT, being one of the greatest female boxers on earth, right? That's what she should. That's what she should concentrate on, instead of, responding to all of the trolls and the people that really want to get her off her game. So here's an example of what I'm talking about.
Clarissa got ugly girl syndrome. She got ugly girl syndrome. And hear me out, but she got ugly girl syndrome. And we all seen it. We all see it. And no tea to nobody. No tea to nobody. But this is just what I call it. I call it ugly girl syndrome. Because, okay, this is what I used to have. And I don't think I'm ugly. But I noticed a long time ago, ugly girls and fat girls treat a relationship different. They will cook, clean, do everything, wash, They do all of the things. They treat the guy like a king because I can't do any better. I'm lucky that you even came over here. We see it time and time again where the guy thinks he is the prize, and you lucky I'm talking to you. She has ugly girl syndrome. What happens in ugly girl syndrome when a girl thinks that, oh my God, I'm so ugly, or I have not, she's built, we're watching her building her, we are watching her build her confidence. No, I have I whoop your ass syndrome. I have I beat a bitch up, I beat a nigga up syndrome. I have I love my man syndrome. I have I wear what the fuck I want to wear even though y'all say that I can't dress syndrome. Like, what make you, like, how could you say that I have ugly syndrome? I have ugly girl syndrome. What are you talking about? I have get money syndrome. I don't bother nobody syndrome. Like, how can you say that I have some type of syndrome that you're talking about when I don't bother nobody, I wear what I want, I make my own money, I'm successful, I mind my fucking business, and y'all steady come bothering me, but I'm the one that got, no. I got I beat your ass syndrome, I whoop a bitch, I whoop a nigga, I love my man syndrome, because it's whatever Papoose says goes, yeah, right? I have that syndrome. I don't fucking, how can I have when you say ugly girl syndrome, know that that's somebody who's a hater, somebody who's constantly attacking people, somebody who is making up things about people, somebody who's not bothering them, they come go and bother them. That is what ugly girl syndrome is. Also, ugly girl syndrome is calling a girl that's pretty ugly. So a lot of y'all have that. Because I know damn well that I'm not ugly, but the amount of times that I see it, y'all keep saying it to me because y'all want me to believe it.
At something, or the best ever at something, and then they try to tear her down, right? And you know, people are going to have their opinions, but to come at somebody personally, saying calling them ugly, uh, she got ugly girl syndrome. I just think that's a bridge too far. Say, yeah, you can call a dude ugly. We don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? You could call a dude anything, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't operate like that. We compartmentalize haters, right? You know what I'm saying? People can hate on you all they want to, but a man is going to be a man, is going to be a man. But these women, and Carissa kind of hurt herself trying to cross over into, a man's territory. And so people, society is trying to, snatch her back down to earth. You know what I'm saying? But part of a champion's, what I'm saying, part of what drives them is their ego, right? So that's part of her persona, you know what I'm saying, to be the best, to be the quote. That's her brand. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna draw out a lot of people that hate her. And then with this whole papoose thing, is part of this whole gender war bullshit that the men and women got going on today, right? Because you got the half the women out there who want to hate men, you know what I'm saying, because they can't control men. You know what I'm saying? This feminism stuff has convinced women that they're bigger than men, they're smarter than men, and they want to be the new men. But that shit ain't gonna work. Law don't go around here, law dog. Law don't go around here, law dog. That ain't happening. Men understand that you need men to enforce. You know what I'm saying? You say you can't hear anything? Oh hell, you can't hear nothing? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Just hey, somebody put something in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Damn. Oh, okay. So this feminism shit, you know what I'm saying? Even though I love the way Carissa fight, but she need to get off this man domination stuff. You know what I'm saying? Keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? If that's what drives you, keep it to yourself because you're not gonna win no fans. You know what I'm saying? Going on that track where you could beat Keith Thurman or you could beat Rolly Ramiro. Them guys will knock your ass out. We saw you. You saw Carissa get knocked down in sparring. Those guys are pulling their punches. You know what I'm saying? It's like, could you imagine if somebody really, what I'm saying, wanted to punch through Carissa? You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she keep bringing up men. You know what I'm saying? That's her downfall right there. Bringing up that she can beat men, and she's always mentioning that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the one to judge her and say stay in your lane, but I'm looking at it as a PR type thing. Like, don't mention that you can beat men. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that's cap. We know that's cap. Every boxing aficionado know that is cap. So it's irritating to hear her say that, but I hate to see her be attacked by women, right? Because she is the greatest female boxer that I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think nobody can touch her on the female side. You know what I'm saying? And she's got way more accomplishment than any male boxer that I've ever seen, right? So she's not doing herself, any justice by responding and going on these ghetto rants and stuff. And just leave it alone. Let people say what they're gonna say because you're not gonna stop public opinion about you because you're a star, right? You put yourself into the public limelight and it's fair game. But it's vicious. It's vicious. You know what I'm saying? The way they coming at it, they really trying to get into a psyche and I think over time, it's going to affect her. You know what I'm saying? Either it's going to help her destroy somebody or it's going to actually get her to retire early. And that's what I hate to see. The whole laughing at Shadeja Green, saying Shadeja Green, she had brain bleeding. And, saying for her to be, laughing about that, she apologized for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's bad publicity, bro. And I know in this generation, they don't care what kind of publicity, what I'm saying, if it's good or bad, long as you're being talked about, it's that kind of society that we're living in now. We don't have any moral standards of decency or none of that shit, bro. It's like you can just say what the hell you want to say, you know what I'm saying? And if it's defamatory, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's a sad situation. Meanwhile, she should be setting up for a next fight. Shadeja Green was supposed to be, they were supposed to be building up Shadeja Green for her next fight. And Shadeja Green, of course, lost to Lonnie Daniels. So maybe she could fix up a fight where that was down at super middleweight. So maybe she could pull up Lonnie Daniels again and whip her ass again or something. But she need to get back into boxing and leave all this social media BS alone. She need to leave it alone, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's doing anything positive for her mental, the mental side of her aspect of her game, because you need to be committed to boxing 100% of the time. I wouldn't be surprised if her next fight she struggled. You know what I'm saying? Because she's fighting outside the ring. She's fighting mental battles that's weighing on her spirit, right? And so just like Tank, you saw Tank out there dominating everybody. You know what I'm saying? Knocking out niggas. You know what I'm saying? Until he just absorbed too much of this negative energy from social media, right? And to me, I think it should be cut. It should be separated. You know what I'm saying? Don't read nothing. There's a lot of fighters that don't read nothing about themselves, right? Because they don't want their spirit, they don't want to be distracted, you know what I'm saying, from what they need to do. Your opponent is training to upset the apple cart if you're a star. They definitely, you saw Lamont Roach when he fought Tank, right? Lamont Roach was ready. You know what I'm saying? He was ready to take him out. And damn near did, right? You can even arguably say that Lamont Roach won that fight, right? But we know Tank fights better than that. You know what I'm saying? But when you're distracted by personal things, it's going to take you out the game. It's going to take you out the game. And too many of these fighters, I know life keep lifing outside the ring, but you need to isolate yourself. I love the way Crawford isolates himself. One thing I can say about Bud Crawford is he prepares. You know what I'm saying? He prepares, what I'm saying, better than any fighter that I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? He will isolate himself, put all that personal stuff on the back burner and go get these fights and go win these fights. That's what Clarissa needs to do right now. And right now, what I'm saying, I think I liked her. I think people liked Clarissa more before they knew her personal life, right? Because before that, all you really knew about her was that she was a dope ass fighter. That's all you need to know. You know what I'm saying? But ever since, since she got into it with this Remy Ma, she's doing raps and shit, you know what I'm saying? And, putting salacious stuff out there about them and calling her ugly. And she's got the whole world calling Carissa Shields ugly. You know what I'm saying? That's going to weigh on you because, women, the vanity is everything, right? Vanity is everything. And they're coming out of vanity, they're coming out of looks, they're coming at, they're trying to tear it down, man. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if, her performance fall off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If she keep engaging in social media. That's why I don't like Shakur Stevenson doing it. That's why I don't like, what I'm saying, Tank doing social media. I think social media is a poison to boxing. It's a poison. You know what I'm saying? These guys, it's a distraction from what they should be doing. Go do some sit-ups, man. You know what I'm saying? Go run another mile. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to social media because all you got is people with varying opinions, people who don't like you, people who do like you, and it'll just make you hate everything. So, that's my little spiel on the woke and what she's going through, man. It's like, a lot of it she brings on herself by being on social media and talking so damn much and just saying all these crazy ass things. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beware of meeting your heroes. You know what I'm saying? You don't, back in the day, we didn't know about fighters like that. We didn't know about Sugar Ray Leonard like that. We didn't know, what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, when he came along, his personal life kind of got out there, right? But the less you know about a fighter, what I'm saying, I think the better it is because, you kind of can keep that suspension of belief. You know what I'm saying? You put them in your mind as, they just a dope ass fighter. That's all you need to know, man. That's really all we need to know. Because, once we start finding out who they really are, it's kind of like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's like shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but Carissa, hopefully she'll pull through it this time in her life, you know what I'm saying? Because they really coming at her, bro. But even if she was to retire today, she'll retire on top. You know what I'm saying? I want to see her, make all the money that she can. I want to see her, what I'm saying, really progress. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many more accolades the girl can get. But what I'm saying, I hope that she don't let them destroy her, right? Um, and so that's my little spiel on that. You know what I'm saying? But the next thing I wanted to talk about was this kid, this prospect um, that I saw. And man, he's out of Tank Davis, gym. And Tank Davis, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the full story if he discovered the guy. I think they came up together and he came up on the Tank and Tank kind of mentored the guy. And I think y'all know who I'm talking about. Talking about this kid, Scooter Davis, man. Man, I was like watching some of his fights and Scooter Davis, man, that boy's serious, man. It's kind of like when you saw Abdullah Mason. And he reminds me of Dula Mason because I love the aggression and the way he fights, man. The dude fights with, he fights like Tank with aggression and he's got power. You know what I'm saying? And he campaigns at 135. And man, when I tell you the kid is dynamic, bro. I know y'all probably seen clips on the dude. This is Scooter Davis right here. Here's a clip on him.
That's how amateurs is all about activity.
So how about this? So somebody that you think I got this, and he hits you like, okay, all right.
Tank, that motherfucker hit hard. That I ain't never heard nobody, punch me and that shit started to hurt and burn at the same time. It's like, oh, this motherfucker punching, huh? Nah, but that's when I knew I was a dog though. Like everybody knew because once people get y'all see it. People get hit by Tank, they going out.
They hit that knee. Like,
yeah, right. When Tank hit me, boom. I'm like, damn. I threw my shit back. Boom, hit him back. He looked at me like, nigga. And then it was like he gave me that nod, like, okay. Now looking at that, like, yeah, I feel like that was my initiation because what I'm saying, the things that he done for me, he ain't done for nobody. He flew me out to Florida, took me out to his camp with him, me and my guys, put me on All Access. I was on TV for the first time. Again, spawned with him right here. I took him to my strength and conditioning trainer. He came down, and now we together every day. I'm riding back and forth in his, his cars and, just seeing how he moving. He give me game about the business and just talking about this, what you don't need, what you do need. It came from a conversation of letting him know how hungry I was. You know what I'm saying? Like I told him, you know what I'm saying? I don't need you to do nothing for me. Just crack the door. I'm gonna kick that bitch down.
So that's Scooter Davis, and I'm gonna show you a clip of one of his fights of kind of how he moves, and I was impressed, man. You know what I'm saying? I was impressed. I mean, I know he's not, he's still a prospect. You know what I'm saying? He's still, he's still learning the craft. But under Calvin Ford and under Tank, man, this dude, I think he's gonna crack out to be, a breakout star. You know what I'm saying? And here's a clip of how he be moving in the ring. I know y'all probably seen this before, but check this out. Man, got some man. He goes to the body just like Tank, man. He goes to the body, man. Oh, I love it, man. This dude here is tough, bro. I mean, even though he's not fighting a top guy, but look how he throwing them punches, man. I mean, damn, quick, solid, accurate. Oh, Scooter Davis, man. I think he's gonna be a problem. I think he's gonna be a problem, man, at 135. You know, I think he's gonna be a problem, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anybody ever heard of Scooter Davis besides myself? You know what I'm saying? Anybody heard of Scooter Davis, man? Because I'm impressed. So I'm surprised that he's not getting more press. I think he got 10. He got 10 fights, and I think he got like 9 KOs. So I don't think he considered himself a knockout artist, but he's kind of like Tank. You know what I'm saying? No, he just he don't just go out there. He goes out there to beat your ass. He goes out there to be aggressive and get you up out of there. But he got boxing abilities, bro. He's got I think he's got a he's a full complete fighter. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the dude is sweet, man. We gotta really check out more of these prospects. You know what I'm saying? Cause we got some good fighters. What's that guy named Moses? I think it's Shakur Stevenson cousin. Um, Moses something. But he's good too, man. It's a lot of good prospects that's coming out, and they're not getting enough coverage, and they're going to be a problem. And they all campaign like at 135, so 135 division is going to be crackling here soon. You know what I'm saying? I see why a lot of people getting out of 135 right now because you got Moses coming, you got Scooter Davis coming, and you got Crewmill Moulton. down there. You know what I'm saying? It's time for the young guns. You know what I'm saying? It's about time for a transition. And I do think these guys are going to be the future at 135. You know what I'm saying? What's that guy named Gerald, not Gerald, Jadir Herrera, you know what I'm saying, who is a WBC interim champion. You know what I'm saying? So we got to see what he's going to do. Now, his defense is garbage, but I could see one of these guys, Scooter Davis, you know what I'm saying? What's the other, Moses? I could see one of them challenging him for that, for the belt when he does get a belt, right? Because the Montalib guys, you know what I'm saying, they kind of, he, even though he's still young, this is going to be a clash going on because it's starting to build up at 135. A lot of good talent, a lot of generational looking talent is coming towards 135. I don't see that for any other division. It seemed to be, saying another golden era starting to form up at 135. I don't see it in 126. I don't see it at 122. I don't see it at 147. I don't even see it at 140. At one point, 140 was the hotbed. Now it's starting to kind of weed out a little bit. So we're seeing people starting to, hide, running hide, and trying to hold on to the titles. You know what I'm saying? Gary Antoine Russell, um, Richardson, Hitson, Hutchins. You know what I'm saying? They hiding out. You know what I'm saying? It's like get into the fray, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this could be so much a better era of boxing if everybody just fight, right? Instead of sitting back waiting for opportunities from Zuffa Boxing and waiting for the Turk, you know what I'm saying, to make a big fight. I think the Turk is kind of done with that. Uh, if you're not going to get into the ring and fight, I think the Turk is done with the big ass. I know they just acquired Conor Ben and they paid him. I'm not sure if he got the full 15 million for one fight for fighting Regis Prograde, which was a travesty. Um, and he couldn't even knock out Regis. You know what I'm saying? Regis is a washed fighter. You know what I'm saying? And for Conor Ben to go out there and, you know what I'm saying, he dominated the fight, but shit, Regis was able to hold his own. You know what I'm saying? And he's a damn old 37-year-old fighter, right? And so if Conor Ben fights like a Shakur Stevenson or if he fights Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna get washed. You know what I'm saying? Because you saw his skills, right? You know what I'm saying? He's an offensive fighter, but his defense is trash, right? So I don't think Conor Ben is going to be, you know what I'm saying, he's not going to be around too much longer, you know. So even though he's with Zuffa Boxing, unless they give him some um some easy fights, right? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only way he's going to progress over there. Uh, but if he come across like somebody, you know what I'm saying, with some experience behind him, I don't think he's going to make it. But it depends on what weight he campaigns at, because I don't think he wanted to go to 154. I think he would have got exposed a lot earlier. Because them boys at 154 ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? The Fondoras, you know what I'm saying? They ain't playing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Jerron Businis, you know what I'm saying? Conor Ben, I mean, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Jerron Businis would just wipe the floor with Conor Ben. He knows it. You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to make his money. Let's see what Zuffa Boxing got for him. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what kind of fights that they can come up with and negotiate. But if they're paying like that, 15 million, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's only for certain fighters. I heard Errol Spence Jr. went over to Zuffa Boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how true that is, but you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of these fights, that's what's holding up the division. A lot of the fighters are just waiting to see what kind of money is gonna, fall from the tree over there at Zuffa Boxing. So, you know what I'm saying? That's something that we got to see if Zuffa Boxing going to be good because they are organized, and I'm pretty sure Dana White, if he runs it like the UFC MMA, you know what I'm saying, that means everybody's going to fight everybody. That's the only exciting thing that Zuffa Boxing brings to the table, right? That boxing will have some kind of form, some kind of structure where, you know what I'm saying, people are not ducking each other, are able to sit behind the cachet of being a champion, right? So they got to fight everybody. So, you know what I'm saying, that's a good thing. But, you know what I'm saying, we just got to see, how all this thing shake out. You know what I'm saying? How much is Turkey really going to intervene in making big fights? Is he still going to put big money out there? I doubt it, unless they fight who he wants them to fight, right? And you know what I'm saying? Because he done got cheated for so long, you know what I'm saying, out of big money fights and stuff, some big money fights were under Canelo and all this kind of shit. Canelo's trying to come back, by the way. He's supposed to be fighting Mbili. I'm gonna tell you something, that's a dangerous fight for Canelo. The way Mbili fights, you know what I'm saying? That's a dangerous fight. Canelo, he's gonna have to be in top shape to beat Mbili, because Mbili is, I mean, he is very active, energy fighter. He likes to smother. Um, if Canelo fights him, that'll be an interesting fight to watch. You know what I'm saying? I would be interested to see Canelo fight him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that would be a banger because Mbili never stops punching. He never stops moving. He's a rugged fighter. You saw the fight with Lester Martinez, and I give the young super middleweight credit because you could see Billy was just disrupting his offense, bro. He just, even though he was working with it, you know what I'm saying, and he just didn't have enough punch rate to win that fight. And Billy is kind of like a Sean Porter type motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He just keep trying to win by attrition, right? And then he's smothering you and he's constantly just throwing shit. He kind of reminds me of Sean Porter. So it'll be interesting to see if Canelo at his age, say not his age, but his body, his boxing fighter age, right? Is he able to deal with that kind of kinetic energy that Mbili brings to the ring? Now, if they allow Canelo to do his thing, you know what I'm saying, he might knock Mbili out. You know what I'm saying? Because he feel that Canelo power. You know what I'm saying? He may not be smothering Canelo like that, but he's trying to make a comeback. And they're putting it on the table that like they leaving it open for him to fight David Benavidez, because a lot of people calling Canelo scared to fight David Benavidez. But David Benavidez has been at 175 for so long. I don't know how it would affect him to come back down to super middleweight. I mean, would he be drained? Could he still, you know what I'm saying, function and operate the same, the Mexican monster, you know what I'm saying, at that weight class? He said, what you say about Lester? He says, let alone Lester kid, he was nice. He said he was gonna when is he gonna fight next? I don't know when Lester fight next, but I know he's part of Crawford's camp. He trains over there in Crawford's camp, and they're teaching him that. Let me tell you something. Crawford camp, man. Crawford camp is very good. It's very good for developing fighters. I tell you that right now. When I saw Keyshawn, he went over there, and Chris Eubanks, when he trained over there, that's the best I ever seen them look. You know what I'm saying? In the ring. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn, I mean, he was looking good, bro. You know, under their development, right? Under their care. And Lester Martinez, I think he's going to develop nicely too. He just need more experience because Mabili was smothering the shit out of him, even though he was still getting in them uppercuts. He was still getting to the body. He was just a little. He wasn't strong enough. He wasn't strong enough to keep Billy off him. And you know, what I'm saying, part of his game is to fight in the mid range and on the inside too. But he just wasn't. He just couldn't deal with Mbili's strength. And Mbili just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, just kind of made it an ugly fight and beat him in an ugly fight. But I think Lester Martinez is going to be a problem, man. You know what I'm saying? Once you get a little bit more experience upon this belt. Um, but I want to see your boy Abdullah Mason, you know what I'm saying, and maybe Montalive. I want to see them go at it. You know what I'm saying? They might as well forget about Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur Stevenson is putting himself, you know what I'm saying, outside of the belts. And I don't think Shakur Stevenson really care about the belts. If he wants a belt, he probably just want a belt so he can, just like kind of like Mayweather did, he'll get a belt so he can, uh, have something to fight for. But I think Stevenson figured he's a name and he's the top dog. So he can go wherever the money's at, right? He's looking for the money. So right now, I don't think he's going to go back to 35. And right now, I think Abdullah Mason is too green to beat a Shakur Stevenson. I think he'll need a whole lot more experience to beat a boxer like that. But he definitely he got some wars coming. So I think I think I'm saying his name right, Ray Montalib or whatever. I think that's going to be a huge fight for him, man. If he can unify with him, I think his name, maybe he could get that Stevenson fight if he unifies down there. You know what I'm saying? And um, yeah, right. I think he's fighting Joe Cordine, and I think he'll win that fight. I think he could beat Joe Cordine. I don't think Joe Cordine he has experience, but he don't have the athletic ability. He don't move quick enough. He's not fast enough, and he's not vicious enough to beat Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason got too much dog for uh, Joe Cordina, and even though I think he's a good fighter, I think Joe Cordina is okay. But I think Abdullah Mason is special. I think he's he's that next level fighter. He's kind of like a Jerron Boots Ennis. Um, but he needs to tighten up on his defense a little bit. Because that Sam Notes fight, man, that was a classic. You know what I'm saying? That was a pure classic with him and Sam Noakes. And Sam Noakes is a young fighter too. So you're going to see him again. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Noakes takes somebody down. You know what I'm saying? Because that boy, he's like Jake LaMotta. You know what I'm saying? The way he was coming at Abdullah Mason. That kind of remind me of that. It's kind of like watching Sugar Ray Robinson and Jake LaMotta. You know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy, man. I was on the edge of my seat. I was screaming like a motherfucker, man. I was like, God damn, this fight good. You know what I'm saying? The way they were going back and forth. And it just kind of showed that Abdullah Mason got a lot to learn, saying, because people was complaining about him getting hit. It wasn't about him getting hit. It was about his mental disposition. Like when he gets into a dog fight, he going all out. You know what I'm saying? He is going all out in the dog fight. So whether you knock him out or he knock you out, that's how it's gonna go. So he don't, Crawford kind of like that too. Bud Crawford kind of like that too. You know what I'm saying? Once the fight start, it's a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's no more, it's not about boxing tactics or strategies. It's about who's going to do more damage. And that's what I love about Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's going to be exciting about the 135 division, because we're getting a lot of fighters down there like that. Scooter Davis, I believe, is like that. Moses, Moses is more of a boxer, puncher. Um, you know what I'm saying? When he gets in, he's more strategic, but he's a tough guy. He got a lot of skills. Kind of reminds me of Keyshawn the way he fights. But he's going to have to develop a lot more before, he gets up into, the upper ranks. He's still got a lot to learn. He's just coming out. I mean, I don't even think he has 10 fights yet. Um, but they're all at 135. That's the thing. What's his name? Krumel, Moten. You know what I'm saying? These guys still got a lot of development to do. But man, they're coming. They're coming. And I say in the next, 1 or 2 or 3 years, you're gonna start hearing, you're gonna hear their names. They're gonna be the ones at 135 with all the belts. So, when I put this out there, you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure most of you probably know this already. This is the future. You know what I'm saying? This is the future of boxing. You said exactly. I was gonna say Abdullah Mason needs more defense. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure he can work on it. I've seen him get dropped um, a couple of times um, in a fight. But you know what I'm saying? He got that dog in him, man. He reminds me of Crawford. When he gets up, it's on and popping, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's got that fighter mentality. And then he got other brothers too that's coming. So you know what I'm saying? It's you know what I'm saying? Even though it's kind of dark right now that we don't have a lot of guests that's coming out here and really just wanting to fight. You know what I'm saying? Fight. You know what I'm saying? But I think the future is going to be okay. And some of the dudes that I've been seeing coming towards boxing now for the other divisions, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So when it comes to heavyweight, we only got Jared Anderson. I got to look around and see if we got any other heavyweights that's got potential. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be able to compete. Um, up there with the Brits. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like gave up on the heavyweight division. And then we got David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if he could fight David Morrell again, and if David Morrell, I think that'll be his legacy fight. That'd be the fight that gets him. You know what I'm saying? When you get that rival that really take you to the test and stuff. I think David Morrell, he just needed a little bit more experience in that fight because he didn't do too bad. So David's just supremely more experienced. You know what I'm saying? He just got too many gifts for David Morrell. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it in the fight. But I do think David Morrell is going to be the only one. Him and I think Ja Otaya, Obataya. You know what I'm saying? I thought David and him was on a collision clash, right? I thought that was going to be the one guy that really took David to the task, right? Because David Bataya got that power, man, and he got speed. You know what I'm saying? So to be at cruiserweight, though, um, you know what I'm saying? That's something David still got. He got to dominate 175 before he can even think about cruiserweight. So that's something I was looking at. And then I think Ja Obataia went over to Zuffa Boxing. So there's another caveat that's going on with that. He went over to Zuffa Boxing. I don't know how that's going to affect any negotiations that they may have, right? So that's something to look at. And then Bivol, I don't think Bivol want that. I don't think he want that David Benavidez smoke. You know what I'm saying? Bivol's like, I'm old. I'm not trying to deal with these damn new phenomenons that's coming out. And I think he's fighting somebody named Ifty or something like that. He's fighting some dude I never heard of. And I'm not sure how much attraction that's going to get. Yeah, we would love to see Bivol in the ring, but we want to see Bivol in there with David Benavidez. We don't want to see him in there with some pedestrian uh, light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying, I don't think that fight is gonna be big with Bivol. Um, you know what I'm saying? But the way he's ducking David, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised. I'm surprised that he's ducking David. You know what I'm saying? Because Bivol usually be wanting that smoke. He said Bivol needs to stop ducking Ben, and he said he is the only one I think can beat him right now. Well, Ben and David was supposed to fight, but the shit got canceled. Um, better be of you know what I'm saying? They're supposed to have fought, and the fight got canceled. So, and they just never got back on it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So look like Better Be or Bivol don't want to fight David, right? But they've already fought twice, right? So I don't think Bivol is ducking them. You know what I'm saying? Because they already fought twice. So I think 1-1. What they 1-1? So they were supposed to do it again. I thought that was going to be Bivol's next fight. Was Better Be they break the tie? Um, that would have been I would have been there for it because I think that's a great matchup. I love Bivol's intelligence as a fighter, using basic boxing, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? He just showed you how he just kind of maxed out the basics, you know what I'm saying? And he's just able to, able to use the basics, the way he beat Canelo, the way he beat Zerda. Zerda, that's who David's going to be fighting on May 2nd. Gilberto uh, Ramirez, they call him Zerto or something like that. And that's who David's going to be fighting on May 2nd. And I think David going to beat his ass. I think, he's going to beat the hell out of Zerto Ramirez, right? Zerto, now, don't get me wrong. Ramirez is a good fighter now, but he's a basic fighter and he does everything well, but he's not ready for the hand speed of David. David's gonna be slapping shit out of him with them lefts and rights. David's gonna be walking him down, and even though he has the power probably to drop David, because David defense gotten better over the years, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you fighting somebody slick, you know what I'm saying? And they got the power to drop you. Um, Zerto ain't gonna be the one to do it. I tell you that right now, because he got nothing but straight punches. He boxes, you know what I'm saying? He backpedals, you know what I'm saying? Unless he sees where he's just stronger than you and he'll come forward and finish you off. But David is that dude, man. David is going to dominate 175. Everybody's old there. He's the new blood, so he's going to dominate that light heavyweight division. I wouldn't be surprised if he become undisputed because I think he's going to probably get elevated to, a couple of more belts. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really wants to fight David. Nobody really wants to face the Mexican monster. He's in a class all by himself. I've been saying this shit for years. I've been saying that for years. You know, um, so that's what I think about David. David just always excellent. David is always excellent. Let me see. I did that
I
one.
love the matchup. Just, they're still two young guys. Boots is 28, but he's still a young guy. He's in his prime. And, Xander Zayas is 23. And when I look at this matchup initially, the first thing I think about is it too soon for Xander Zayas? Some would say, but he's still he's a two-time world champion. That doesn't mean that he's ready for this. And I like Xander a lot. I like him a lot personally. I like his movement. I like how he's carried himself. I've seen his growth, calling his fights on ESPN. He's got a lot to like. He's got the range. He's got the height. He's tough. He got a whole country behind him, and he fully embraces trying to be the next great Puerto Rican champion. And he's going to cause some problems for Boots Ennis throughout this fight. But my initial question is this too soon? Or is it the right time? Is it ripe and the right time for Xander Zayas? And for Jerron Boots Ennis, he needed this name. He needed this kind of matchup because that's been the biggest knock on him. It's like, yeah, you passed the eye test. We see you have skills. We respect your movement with your father and coming from Philly and everything that you guys do. We know, it's widespread rumors and not just rumors, but the truth is Boots is he's a gym rat and he lives boxing. He really loves the sport. And you see that when he fights. But the question or concern that I have for Boots is Boots has had his way so much that I don't always see Boots, even though he does have skill defensively, he doesn't always use it. I see Boots sometimes get hit with clean flush shots. And I'll see him get hit in a fight with a repeated shot. And my boxing brain says, you took that shot against this guy. What if you get hit with that same shot against that guy? So those are my initial concerns about the fight for both guys. But if it is the right time for Xander and he's able to pull this off and beat Boots on points or somehow hurt Boots and stop Boots and put on a great performance, Puerto Rico has their next great star. And if Jerron Boots Ennis is able to deal with Xander Zayas and stop him and dominate him, it's going to prove a lot of what we've already seen and know about Boots is that he has it and he just needed the opportunity to prove it.
That was Ward, man. And Ward is kind of like, saying out loud what everybody's thinking. You know what I'm saying? But to me, you can't. What's going on, Bruce Boxing Gas and more? What's going on, bro? Um, you can't really say a guy with two belts. You know what I'm saying? It's too early for him. It's like if you get two belts in any weight class, what I'm saying, you got to be ready. What I'm saying? You have no choice. What I'm saying? For Xander, he's been at 154 for a long time, bro. Uh, so, Boost is just coming up there. What I'm saying? These are the questions, what I'm saying, that he's got to answer those questions. Can he acclimate himself and become a dominant champion at 154? Can he take the punches of a 154 pounder? I think he can. Um, those are the questions I'm wondering. I know Xander, he's fought other 154 pounders, right? So I'm not saying that he's more dominant than Jerron Boots Ennis or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that Xander is getting baby, I guess because he's 23. And, Mike Tyson was world champion, what I'm saying, at the age of 20, what I'm saying, when he won his belt, when he won the world championships, the heavyweight world championship belt, right? So we can't say that he's a baby. We can't say it's too early in his career because the man has shown that he's a champion two times over, right? So, people are acting like, well, I guess Boots is like 28. So they're kind of looking at it like, what I'm saying, he's the man with the more experience, but really Boots is moving up to a different weight class. What I'm saying? This is first time moving up, what I'm saying, to a different weight class. So, what I'm saying, I think the question is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? What Ward is talking about, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel what he's saying about, you know what I'm saying, it can Boots take the punches from a 154 pounder. You know what I'm saying? That is going to be a question. People are not looking at it that way. But I'm talking about repeated punishment. You know what I'm saying? If Xander's able to get off on Boots, and Boots, he is the type of fighter to see what kind of, punishment, how you're punching, trying to test your power. You know what I'm saying? And will that have an effect on the way Boots, you know what I'm saying, move towards the fight? Or is he always gonna, Boots is good at adapting. Um, that's something in his favor. He can always adapt. He's got different abilities in the ring where, he could counterpunch, you know what I'm saying? He could be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that Jerron Boots Ennis can do. You know what I'm saying? But how is he going to react if he gets hurt? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be an interesting thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I do believe every fighter can be hurt in a fight. I don't look at Xander as a power puncher. Um, I haven't seen him have great power in the ring. But one thing Ward said that is true, that if he beats Jerron Bucenis, he's going to be he's going to be Puerto Rico's next star, because the way they respond to him in Puerto Rico, he's like the next Tito Trinidad. He's like the next Cotto. You know what I'm saying? He's, you know what I'm saying? They always, they always support their own. That's one thing about the British fighters. I mean, the British fans. That's one thing about the Puerto Rican fans. They get behind their own. Mexican fans get behind their own. You know what I'm saying? It's only the black boxers that tend to try to be super fair and super objective. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to their fighters. And I don't know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get behind who you want to win, and don't be ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what being a boxing fan is all about. Now I can't tell you how to be a boxing fan and how to look at it, but you know what I'm saying, you can't be ashamed. You know what I'm saying? So there's no easy fight for Bruce. No, that's why I'm so happy, Bruce, that he went to 154. And I was talking to 503 yesterday. Um, you know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, you know what I'm saying? If Boots would have won undisputed at 147, he wouldn't got a lot of credit. You know what I'm saying? And this was before Devin even went to 147. This one, Devin was still, messing around with Lomachenko and all of them, and before Ryan Garcia moved up. You know what I'm saying? When Boots finally left 147, so those guys were just trickling in, right? So it wasn't a thing of where he was just ducking, and then you had Brian Norman Jr., you know what I'm saying, who is overhyped, in my opinion. Um, he's overhyped. You saw what he looked like against Devin. Imagine if that was Boots. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have got no credit for being a Brian Norman. He won a belt, and nobody knew who the hell he was. I mean, I had heard of him sparring and all the sparring wars that he had. He was a sparring warrior. You know what I'm saying? Doing very well in sparring, right? I had heard of those things, and I seen a few of his fights, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen him like really cut the ring off on nobody. You know what I'm saying? And the few fights that I did see, it was always dog fights, right? And so I said, man, you know what I'm saying? He don't have no feet. He don't have no feet. So if he fights somebody with feet and that can box, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a problem for him. I didn't know how bad it was going to be, right? I didn't know how bad it was going to be, that bad. So when people talk about Jerron Boots Ennis ducked Brian Norman Jr., I laugh, bro. It's laughable. You know what I'm saying? Boots would have destroyed Brian Norman Jr. You know what I'm saying? He would have stopped him probably in 3 or 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's because Boots is some kind of boxing god. It's just that look at the skills. You know what I'm saying? Look at the skill level. Look at, you know what I'm saying, the way Boots approach fights. Look at the way Brian Norman Jr. approach fights. You know what I'm saying? He always got to have somebody to come to him. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that can lure Brian Norman forward, he's got slow ass feet. You know what I'm saying? And he don't even punch that fast, bro. His hand speed isn't there. You know what I'm saying? So he's good with little short shots. Um, I think Boots would have destroyed him. And I think that was the only I think that was the only competition that he had at the time that would have been, you know what I'm saying, somebody, for him to fight, a name for him to fight. And then you got the Lewis Crockers, which is a joke. You got Dalton Smith, who no, that's at 140. It's at 140. Not Dalton Smith, but you got a few newcomers, and the belts are just changing hands because you got a lot of title holders out there right now. Right now, we don't have no dynamic people that's standing out. Even the ones that's holding the belts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're not really, you know what I'm saying? There's no really standouts. Um, so I think Boots had to move up to 154. You know what I'm saying? To be able to build his legacy the way we want to see it built because there's a lot of guys up there that, we want to see them fight. Shit. I remember before Tim Zoo got destroyed, what I'm saying? He was one of the sitting ones that people want to see, um, maybe Boots a fight or but now, Tim Zoo took a loss. You know what I'm saying? His status is different. His ranking is different in boxing. So, but there's a lot of competition up there. I thought Backroom was gonna be hell. And I think they had Jerron Boots in line. They was in negotiations, then negotiations fell through. But I thought that was gonna be a big fight for Boots. That should have been his first fight, really, at 154. And then he would have had a belt. I think Backroom had the IBF. I think now Joe Kelly got it right. So and now Joe Kelly is in the mix. Boots got some. He could build his legacy right there at 154. He could really make himself a star. And what I'm saying, starting out with Xander Zayas, I think it's going to be this is so much riding on this fight. There's so much riding on this fight that these guys are going to they're going to push each other into, what I'm saying, superstardom. Um, Even though people don't really know them like that well, but inside the boxing circles, I think that the name is going to be glorified right after this fight. They're going to be them ones, and then I think Virgil Ortiz is going to have to look at that. He can't hide, bro, behind Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? For all these I think they be getting into these disputes just like AJ did with Eddie Hearn, you know what I'm saying? When they was trying to fight Wilder, trying to make the Wilder deal, of course, it's like they come up with this plan to act like they're having a dispute, you know what I'm saying? So they don't have to make a deal. And I think that's what's going on with Virgil Ortiz. And I'm a Virgil Ortiz fan, bro. I was always he's Texas, he's out of Texas. You know what I'm saying? I love EJ Oshaki Foster. You know what I'm saying? I love them guys, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I love the way they fight. The Charlo brothers. You know what I'm saying? Jamal's coming back. Jamal's coming back. He's training with EJ under Ronnie Shields. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know what I'm saying, when and where he gets into the game. It's good to see Jamal back. Um, but yeah, man, it's a changing of the guard right now, and it's Jerron Boots' time. It's his time to shine, and what I'm saying, only he can make it. What I'm saying, what it is. You know what I'm saying, only he can make himself part of that echelon talent. You know what I'm saying, put him up there with the Bud Crawfords, put him up there. He's gonna have to show us. You know what I'm saying, I'm not saying he's up there yet, but what I'm saying is he can show us. You know what I'm saying, what he got. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people get pissed off when they give Boots the crown already. But we're just looking at his potential. I'm just looking at his potential and his style, right? So can he take a punch from, what I'm saying, all these guys? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And Fundora, and see, this is really what's going to make Boots a star. If he could beat Fundora, I know a lot of people don't look at Fundora. A lot of people don't look at Fundora like he's a problem. But from where I sit, Fedora is a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? He's a big obstacle for Jerron Booth Ennis, you know what I'm saying, to become a superstar. And let's say that he beats Xander, you know what I'm saying? That's his next problem is Fundora. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna be the thing that stops him from, what I'm saying, really elevating, you know what I'm saying, until he could beat Fundora. Josh Kelly, you know what I'm saying? I'm not counting him out, but because Josh Kelly, man, he got them hands, bro. That boy got some hands, serious hands. But I think Boots could get by Josh Kelly. Um, but Fundora is a phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? So You know, so that really ties up the 154 division and stuff. You know, so we got some good stuff coming along and stuff. Cause I'm looking forward to that David Benavidez fight on May 2nd. I know I'm pretty sure that David is going to do what he always does. I think that's the next fight on the roster. That let me see, let me make sure. Of course, this Christian Rock. Of course, he says Boost about to. He better. He better because he better PGH big dog because you know what I'm saying what they say heavy is the head that wears the crown. Even though he ain't got the crown on, he got a lot of expectations. He got a lot of boxer fan expectations on him. You know what I'm saying because he's been dubbed the chosen one. You know what I'm saying, and when you've been dubbed, that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure, and he's got a lot of experience. You know what I'm saying? He got what over 30 something fights. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fighters retire. You know what I'm saying? Before they even get 40 fights. So you know what I'm saying? He better go out there and look like he know what he's doing. You know, if Xander gets out there bouncing around, you know what I'm saying, and putting hands and feet on him, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. He says Boots about to put the boxing world on notice when he okays Xander. I think he will. I think he will. But I want people to understand that that's another champion. That's a champion over there. He said, I agree, for Fundora and Boots should run it. And Fundora is a puzzle piece right now because of his game. Yeah, because Fundora's gotten a lot better, y'all. You know, every time I see that kid, he has improved on something. Um, Once you get past the jab, you know what I'm saying? He's got that left hand right there waiting on you. He hit the way he hit, and I know it was Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman is an older guy and he's kind of washed up. But I'm just looking at the way Fundora fights right now, and he's fighting at a different level right now. You know, so he's not that same kid that went in there with Mendoza. He ain't the same kid that went in there with Lubin. You know what I'm saying? He's not making those mistakes like that. He's fighting tall now, and that's a dangerous thing for a 6.5. You know, because now you got to reach for him. Now you got to reach for him. And now he knows how to deflect punches. Now he knows how to come back when you come over. You're gonna come up short. He's coming back with the left. You know what I'm saying? So that's dangerous. He says, hey Pool, he says, don't give up on Norman Jr. yet. He said he's got a real trainer. Who is he training with? He is training with he is who is Norman training with now? Yeah, he had to get rid of his daddy. You know, even though, Brian Norman Jr. Sr. beat up Greg Hackett. You know, said I was laughing, man. I was laughing my ass off, man, when I saw Tim Bradley, saying go off on he was going off on Greg Hackett. Let me see if I can find that shit. That shit is funny as hell, bro. Let me see. Oh my God, that shit was too funny, bro. I woke up to that shit, man. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that shit. Uh, Tim Bradley. See Tim Bradley on Greg Hackett. This shit is hilarious, y'all. Greg Hackett. How the hell? Let me see how Hackett. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, y'all got to check this out. This shit is hilarious, bro. Y'all got to hear this, man. I'm pretty sure most of y'all probably heard it, but I want y'all to hear this shit. This is Tim Bradley. This is Tim Bradley going off on him and Greg Hackett had some words, and Greg Hackett not too recently uh had his channel knocked off because I think something he said about Keyshawn Davis. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Cooning or something like that, and they took his channel or something for a second. There was some crazy stuff going on. But this is Tim Bradley responding to Greg Hackett, something he said about Tim. This shit is too funny. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see if I got it on there. Let me see. Can I see that? My bad. Hold on, I got it. Let's see. Damn. Let's see. Oh, I'm just hitting the wrong buttons. Okay, here we go. Mm.
You know, you can flare up your 12 chest, go on your channel. It's 4 and 25. Hey, I'm sorry, Greg Hackett, man. I'm sorry. Shit. It's 4 and 25. My bad, bro. 4 and 25. 4 wins, 25 losses, bro. Man, I'm so sorry, bro. Man, I fucked up your record like that, bro. You got 4 wins, homie. Damn, 4 wins. Now, I know how you are. You know, you want to fight. You want to show your tough. I'm tough. Bruh, come on now. I fight for millions, Greg. That's what I do. I got offered millions to come back and fight, and I turned it down, right? Because there wasn't enough M's, period. You know, I ain't got nothing to prove to you or nobody else. But all I'm saying is that, bro, I'm certified. Straight up certified, man. Yeah, been there, done that. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. So when I talk this shit, I'm just not talking out of my ass. I know exactly what the hell I'm talking about, homie. That's what I want to let you know. Okay? So, you know, you can flare up your 12 chest, go on your channel, you know, get views off of this or whatever, thinking I'm beefing with you, bro. I'm not beefing with you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even say your name, to be honest with you. People just assumed what I was talking about, and they assumed right. However, you know, like I told you, I respect you, bro. I do. You know what I'm saying? You do be saying some good shit. I like listening to you, you know, break down film and break down fights and shit like that. But I'm telling you, bro, when it boils down to me, you can't fuck with me with this, dog, because I'm heavily qualified. And that's what y'all need you to understand. I'm heavily qualified on me to say what I say, spit what I spit, yo. And when I back it up with evidence, yeah, with evidence on what I'm talking about, bro, it's all fair game, straight up. That's all I'm trying to let you know. Anyways, hey, go on with your day, Blair. I don't want to fight you, Greg. There ain't no point. You just lost to a pizza delivery dude named Chris Thomas. Come on, bro. Just recently, on the 28th of March. Wasting my time, homie. Straight up. Anyways, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, you already know the rest. Oh shit, my last loss was to Manny Pacquiao. A legend. I'm out. Hey, I'm sorry, Greg Hackett, man. I'm sorry. Shit. It's 4 and 25. My bad, bro. 4 and 25. 4 wins, 25 losses, bro. Man, I'm
That's diabolical. That's diabolical. That's diabolical, bro. I'm sorry. That is diabolical, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was hard to look at. You know what I'm saying? Because Greg is such a good guy, and you know what I'm saying. He's in the ring. You know, an actual fighter. You know what I'm saying? And Tim, you know what I'm saying. You know, for him to have to pull rank like that is crazy, man. It's like to get your point across. That's when you know somebody done hurt you by how hard you come back at 'em. And man, Greg is my dude, man. I like the way Greg break down boxing. Um, you know, is he a successful fighter? You know what I'm saying? No, but he's doing it though. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody else out there doing it like Greg. You know what I'm saying? Like he's talking this boxing stuff. He's a coach. He's training. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not, you know, what I'm saying successful. You know, Michael Jordan was a terrible basketball coach. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Magic Johnson was a terrible basketball coach. You know what I'm saying? It's like even though they were great players, you know, so you don't have to, you know, be a great fighter, you know what I'm saying, to be able to coach, to be a great coach or to be able to talk boxing. You know what I'm saying? And if he was to fight Tim, I mean, I don't know the age difference or nothing like that, but man, I mean, I would love to see the fight. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, for Tim to go hard like that, man, it's like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? You already know this YouTube shit. You know what I'm saying? People just talking boxing, bro. You ain't have to pull a rank like that. You know, 4 and 25 is diabolical though. That is a diabolical record, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I saw him fight. I saw him fight Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Sr. beat him. So I'm not saying Brian Norman Sr. is a scrub and nothing like that, but he did get beat by Brian Norman Sr. So you gotta kind of walk a fine line when you're talking about these fighters and everything like that. There, because they're a little sensitive. Um, we know Tim Desert Storm Bradley. You know what I'm saying? He won a couple of fights from Pacquiao that he shouldn't have walked. He shouldn't have won. You know, he shouldn't have won those fights. You know what I'm saying? Because Pacquiao, how to beat up fighter, how to beat up fighter gonna win the fight? You know what I'm saying? So that's the stain on Bradley, you know what I'm saying, on his legacy. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know what I'm saying, they gave him a win out of that. And I do think Bradley is a top guy because he beat well, what's the Spanish guy name that fought Pacquiao? What's the Spanish dude name? Marquez, right? He beat Marquez easily. Juan Marquez. I did not think I bet it against Tim Bradley on that fight, and he was able to beat Juan Marquez pretty soundly, right? So I give him a lot of credit for that. And Juan Marquez, you know, what I'm saying he the one knocked out Pacquiao, right? So Tim, he can, you know, what I'm saying he could talk, he could pop his shit for real, you know, what I'm saying because he was a real one, you know, what I'm saying. So I do give Tim his credit, but you know, what I'm saying for him to punch down on Greg Hackett. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy, bro. Oh man, he says big Wilder fan, big dumb Wilder fan. So all Wilder fans are dummies. Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. You know it is what it is. It's been. You already know how I get down. You know what I'm saying? You already know how I get down. That's all I wanted to talk about. I told you I was gonna go live today, and you know, that's what I had for you guys today. I had to get his ass up out of here, Charles, with that bullshit. You know, so I don't understand why boxing fans come with that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do they come after the fans? You know what I'm saying? It don't make no damn sense. It really don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if I covered everything that I wanted to cover today. You know what I'm saying? I talked about Christian Rock. Did I put up the chick that she's fighting?
What's going on? This your brother.
I put it in. You know what? I put it in the post. The chick that is fighting. So June 25, Christian Rock going to be making a professional debut. And I mean, if you're not familiar with who she is, that's like Blueface. That's like Blueface ex-girlfriend. And she's out of Tank Gym. So, there's a lot of things happening down there with Calvin Ford and Tank and some of the Scooter Davis that's coming out of that Tank Gym. Look out for those fights, you know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be interesting to see if she truly developed into, something, you know what I'm saying? Even though she don't look that good, she's just starting out. And I know she don't have no amateur background, but she's always fighting. And it's kind of interesting to see somebody who enjoys fighting actually try to turn professional. And I want to see what her first debut looked like against this Zenith lady. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to see, how she does in her first professional debut. All that shit she be talking on those reality shows. Let's see what she looked like in her first real boxing match. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much all I had to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. I might go live tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta I'm about my time off is about over. So gotta get back on at 2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much all I want to talk about, fellas. Thanks for stopping through, Charles and PGH Big Dog, Bruce Boxing Gas, and more. These are the part of the 300. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know. They don't know full counter boxing like that. But that's okay. They're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? The world gonna find out one day. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? But real boxers come over here to talk about real boxing. You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend, tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? But nothing but the 300 in here. So, they already know. Gabe, thanks for coming through, Gabe. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I'll see you guys probably tomorrow in the next one. Probably come on by 8 o'clock, something like that. See you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.